give us a try here. All right, everybody. It is 6:02, and I will call this P&Z meeting, the City of Montgomery, November the 7th, 2023, in order. First order of business, is there any, Dave, any visitors or anyone that wants to speak?
No, sir, not gotten anything. We've got folks here for the various items.
All right. All right, we'll move on to item number 1. Consideration and possible action on the regular meeting minutes of September 5th, 2023.
I read through them. Seems like there was a lot more said than what was typed out, but I guess the essence of what was said was put in there. I move to approve the minutes.
All right, we have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. All right, item number 1 passes. Item 2, consideration and possible action on the regular meeting minutes of October 3rd, 2023.
I've already looked through them. I didn't have any comments. I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes for October 3rd, 2023. Unless you have any
We
comments.
have a motion to approve October 3rd minutes.
I just have a question. Did we put in there that we requested certain things to come back to the planning and zoning from the Caroline Street? Didn't we ask for something to come back from them? Was that in there? It's in the previous minutes, but I thought we asked again this last one too. Do you have them in your notes? Do you remember us talking about what needs to come back?
They were supposed to give us some scale drawings, correct?
Yes.
I think if there was no need to bring anything back if it was real turf. If it was not, they needed to submit a revised plan.
Okay.
Only on the grass or sod or turf. That was on that, but I thought we were asking for to scale. We also asked a couple times for to scale and the arborist report.
Right. Yeah, the arborist report on the tree that's,
Yeah.
you know, again, there's no limbs on the tree. We want
Okay.
an arborist to tell us that. We'll ask them for one, but...
I just remember discussing it, but I don't see it in the notes. So I just wanted to make sure if we missed it, it needs to be put in there, or we can add it or amend it, or...
If you guys know exactly where it is and what it is, then you can move to amend it with the addition. If not, you can table them, and I'll go back and rewatch the meeting and see what,
I
see if
don't
I can find
have,
what you're looking for.
I don't have those notes in front of me.
Got it.
I draw
Get
them
them from
that
last
day.
time. Actually, I might.
I have to.
That's September's.
I move that we table them, just in case I wanted to read my notes to see if we can amend it. I move to table these minutes, October 3rd's minutes.
That's fine. I'll second
Okay. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nay. No, say nay. All right. And let's move on to number 3. Bear with me, folks. Consideration and possible action on calling a public meeting to be held on December 5th, 2023 at 6 p.m. related to the rezoning request for approximately 3 acres of land near the intersection of Puffer Street and C.B. Stewart Drive from Commercial B to I Industrial. And I believe we have institutional.
Yes, sir, and they are here to give a presentation, but I think we're waiting on the architect.
Our architect is stuck in traffic, and she'll be here shortly, so we'll just bump on down and wrap up.
Okay, then tell you what, then we'll just move, at this point, move on to item number 4, Consideration and possible action on exterior architectural accent lighting at 202 McCown Street in historical downtown, the Historical Preservation District, as submitted by Jim and Denise
Come on now. You gotta try it, please.
Chalowitz.
Chilovich.
Okay, there we go. That was close, okay, all right.
Members of the commission, this is for architectural lighting. We have in your packet an image of it and a description from the business owner who is here this evening and can answer any questions you have about it. Some of the things that you may wish to consider are a restriction on the colors of the lights. As with most things LED these days, it can be a whole range of colors. If you guys are particular about color or kinds of gear or anything like that, those are approvals or those conditions that you can add. And otherwise, I'll be happy to answer any questions. And again, the applicant's here to do the same.
In a historic district, do we have the lighting ordinance that we have that's written?
So the commercial lighting ordinance applies to every property, whether it's in the historical or without. It requires full cutoff fixtures. I don't know that lighting like this, lighting type like this is necessarily, what the ordinance is designed to regulate. That's more, like parking lot lighting and things like that, exterior building lighting as opposed to accent lighting.
Are these lights just for seasonal use or everyday use?
Everyday use, they can be alternating color-wise. Obviously, seasonal, we could put, red, white, and blue. We could be red during Christmas and that.
But it won't be a seasonal light, it'll be every day.
Correct.
Are they new? They were there before? They were there?
They were not there.
Okay.
They are there.
When you purchased the building?
They were not there.
Okay. And your building is in the historic district?
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe, Dave, there is no other building around on either street, any of the streets in the downtown two blocks that have any.
Not exactly the style. You see, the Wings place had the string lights.
There's string lights all through downtown.
Well, they're not facade. They're not building. They're like Cozy Grapes is underneath their canopy.
Sure, the building behind us has paint all over outside.
Right, that's.
You're talking about the white building on the corner that has a venue where they go and they have outdoor seating and they eat outside that white building across from...
Yeah, it's an event.
Yeah.
They do events.
Not the Lizzie's Boutique doesn't have any
They have
lights on
lights
it.
outside. Underneath the paint on the front porch, I believe.
Your building would be different in that yours is strung up as if you were hanging Christmas lights. That is the difference that I see. And if we say anything, that's fine, but that would, Christmas time comes around and people put lights up and then they take them down. Yours would be a permanent fixture that stays on year-round, and we don't really know what color you're going to use at any given moment. At Christmas time, it doesn't matter. People, again, decorate and then they take it down. Yours is different than anybody else's in the historic district. The way that it is put on the building and the way that it'll be stay on all the time. That's what I'm saying.
No, understood.
Yeah. The others I get, because we drive, on weekends it's great, the lights come on and it gives the mood. Everyone goes from shop to shop. It's really cool looking. Yours would be on all the time. It wouldn't be an ambience. It would be like Christmas lights that are put up.
Yes, I'd be willing to paint just white, for instance, turn non-holiday season, I think, or to match the building color. I'm not sure I see a huge distinction between lights hanging versus lights that are fixed?
Well, we have so many variances when people come before the commission and want to do different variances to improve or to make their business more noticeable. And as a commission, we try to stick within the guidelines of, and what our downtown already looks like. And this would be something different than what we already have. And it doesn't go with what we already have going on in downtown as the ambience and the way that it's set up.
And what I explained 2 meetings ago to a group that was in here, the historical downtown area has its own set of guidelines. And these guidelines were put forth way before I've been sitting here.
Me too.
And they're trying to keep the conformity of the historical downtown looking the same.
So I could hang the lights from the edge of the building and be okay?
Well,
That's
this,
what everybody else is doing. I mean, to be clear, I'm not trying to, but that's exactly, I could hang Christmas lights that are white. And they went along with the side of the building. Everybody else does it too. I mean, you can go look right now, there's 5 buildings that light them,
Yeah.
just like it.
Are you talking about
There's trains out the building.
Are you talking about underneath your, where your walkway, underneath where it's covered before you go in the door? Or are you talking about,
I think the picture was attached, but
Yeah.
it just goes on the top edge of the building.
but if you couldn't attach them, then you would choose to follow suit with the rest of the town, what they're doing? Is that what you're
If
proposing?
I could hang lights, I would hang them just like these are now. I mean, if there's no restrictions on hanging lights versus permanently fixed lights,
well, so that's the thing, I don't know if there's restrictions or if it was just done.
There are.
Right. Yeah, I mean, on hanging up something, again, my take is the historic preservation ordinance deals with things that are reasonably fixed. If someone, hangs up a string light that can come down in 5 minutes, that doesn't sound like an exterior improvement to property. To me,
Right.
that's not the only interpretation, that's mine.
Right.
So,
The
well,
only-
they're actually be turned off too. I mean, they can be set on timers, they can be just like the other way,
the only concern I have is being in the historical district. All at once, we're going to have 15, 20 different schemes of lights. Now, these aren't going to flash or move
No,
or
I
trail?
said I would keep them on.
Yeah, that-
Okay.
I agree with that part of it.
I'm just trying to envision downtown, if that starts there, then it goes to the steakhouse, then it goes over to the next building, then it'll go over to the cheese place and the small bistro, then it'll come back across to the
There's
end
already
shops.
lights on those buildings. though.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm trying to envision.
I mean, happy to go take a look at them.
Yeah.
I can turn them on and show you what they look like at night.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
we
not
can-
obscene, they're not intrusive. All it does is frame out the edge of the building.
I'm trying to think. Do we want to look at them?
I mean, they're out there.
Are they already up there?
They're up.
They're up.
They're not on.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I requested the city.
Yeah, they were turned
They're
off.
up.
That's what it says.
Yep, they're up.
Yeah.
But they have been turned on.
Yeah. But they're installed.
Yes, ma'am.
I guess it's up to just to decide if we're going to approve, and then, I know there's no ordinance or any thing to do this day, but if someone, the steakhouse wants to do, could we say it has to be in like next door? Can we say that? Let's say we approve these lights and then the steakhouse comes to us. and they want to put lights up. Can we dictate of what type of light they put up to conform to next door?
You can request a desired outcome. You couldn't say you must
Right.
use, this brand.
This brand.
Right, but
You can quantify the outcome.
We can say color.
Right.
We can say,
If it's a
we can
warm light,
contingent.
there must be,
I just want to make a brief mention, every meeting, it's already done, and you're asking permission after it's already done. What made you come to planning and zoning to ask if you could turn these lights on?
Because planning and zoning asked me to turn them on when I put them on. I actually wasn't aware that it was restricted. I mean, you can walk downtown and there's 12 different types of lights.
Who asked for them to be turned off?
I believe the code enforcement officer was contacted by someone asking if it was approved.
so there was a concern from someone.
Yes, sir.
It always comes down to setting a precedence of what we do in downtown. And once it's already done, we're finding that to make it undone is either impossible, or there are no fines, there are no boundaries as to what someone in downtown can and cannot do. What concerns me is that you've already done it, and then you've come here to ask permission, not permission, but see if it's okay, what fits down in downtown. Again, we're at a place, as we are very often in our meetings, is it's already done. And I see in here, will not use the flashing strobe, following patterns or ability. I see that it says where it's manufactured. We see that the colors are, as for the colors that are available, and you're telling us, this is what you're going to present to us, but say this building changes again, because it has changed. And the
It's not
next,
my intent to change.
I understand, but you know what? We welcome the business. I love coffee, and I've been in that store. It's got good coffee. But we find that in the event, we've been told several times as well that, I'm here to stay, and this is our business, and then not even 3 months later, maybe something comes up and we have to, decide what we're going to do. Example, later on in our meeting, we're going to have to deal with a building that they want to change, that said they weren't going to change. Now we're going to have to deal with that variance that we've already approved a few months back. So this is probably not going to make everyone happy, but I move to not allow the lights to be on your building.
I don't know.
You can table it and go look at it, but it's just going to go from building to building.
Can we
And we can't,
table?
we can table.
I mean, we won't look at it this evening.
No. Because if we're going to do it, then we should be able to say, okay, all white lights, and make it look uniform, or whatever
Or
the,
seasonal,
or seasonal.
right?
But I mean, for us to just point blank
I'd like
answer,
to, I
So
would,
to be clear though, I can hang whatever I want on the building.
well, it
But that's
depends.
being done right now.
Well, it depends on if the ordinance officer comes out and says no. If they get a phone call.
But if you're not going to apply it equally, then
But what's done is done in downtown now, and it has an ambience, and it is appeasing to the
not necessarily to everybody.
we haven't got a
Some
call.
people blamed it on me, but I don't know who it was. Is it another building owner? Is it?
I have no
I
idea.
mean, because I could easily complain about all the lights that are hanging around.
And actually-
Flashes on the street.
Yes.
I could do a lot of those things.
And as a commission, we volunteer to come up here and we try to do what's best for the city of Montgomery, and we try to do the best that we can do. But we go based on what our citizens want, and if we get a call, I didn't even know we got a call. I didn't know that, but you're not the first person to come to us that we've received a call. It's not just lights. It's people come to our little bitty town and we get calls about all kinds of stuff. And you happen to come before us and we have to make a decision. We can table it and ask if we want to be if people decide this is what they want to do, make it consistent in downtown.
Well, the problem is there's very few people that, other than
Yes,
the few sitting here, knows that there are historical downtown guidelines, historical
Correct.
district guidelines.
that's why I asked you if you knew that you had property in the historical downtown Montgomery.
I knew it was, I didn't know there was restrictions on lights. If you read
Yes.
the code, there's really nothing in it that says
Yes.
that those lights cannot be affixed on a building. I mean,
And it's really difficult because you don't know how many times we sit up here and people come before us and they go, we didn't even know it was historic. And we're like going, you're in downtown Montgomery, it's historic. So I get it. You want to make your business
I want to make
attractive.
the whole area look better.
Yes, yes,
I mean, and what you're, I mean, it kind of restricts a business owner from
yes.
trying to do better for the city. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the look of the lights. There's nothing wrong compared to what's already out there. I think it looks 100 times better. We repaved the lot, looked like crap before, excuse my language. But, I mean, we repainted the top of the building, that's the same color it was. I mean, it's not purple, but, sorry.
Just table it.
I say-
We just table it and we'll talk about it, what we can and can't do. Or do you want to vote on it?
We can table it to look at the lights.
I'll even make coffee for you. Come on, take a look at it.
What would we be looking at, I guess?
Just
Do we
the
want them to
brightness.
we all want to go out there together, go look at it?
Can we do that?
We want to
Or
leave
how's that
You
work?
guys to go out there and not all together?
No,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we can, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, sorry.
Three of us together means a forum and then,
No. Yeah.
So you guys would like.
Or do we want to table it and allow them to have the consistency to their white color until next month? So we can see that.
Tell you what, can we do that?
Just
What-
have, keep them white.
Just white
Just
until we,
white
till
for
next
right
month?
now.
and let us look at them, drive by, see what's going on?
Right.
Okay.
Let us-
There'll be time. I mean, I can turn them on right now on my phone.
Yeah, we'll let Dave take the phone calls.
They can call me. They can call me.
But yeah, if you don't mind, let's do that, because it's,
To be clear, they were on for about a week. Just-
I know, it's new, it's going to be a shock to
I'll
some
make them
people.
soft white and see how that goes.
Yeah, yeah,
But you have to understand, we just came to this meeting and I didn't get a phone call.
No,
Yeah, so we didn't,
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that if it was a call, it was from somebody that,
right,
well, there's nothing wrong with it.
right. If we
By the way,
could,
there's
yeah,
5 cities in Texas
Yeah.
that use these same lights throughout the city.
right. And you may set a standard. You know, maybe a situation where we say,
It's
okay,
already dark enough down
if
there.
somebody else comes in, they say, you need to be, copy the, the coffee shop.
They're not that expensive either.
What's that?
They're not that expensive either. so
Well, I know.
It's a good look.
It's new.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
new.
got you.
It's,
how are they attached right now?
There's metal framing that goes across the top of the building, frames out perfectly.
okay, so it's in metal framing, okay.
You can't even see them during the day.
Yeah, just cope it.
So if you do talk to anyone in downtown and they approach you about your lights,
So,
you can let them know that they're all in historic downtown Montgomery, and there's 5 people that get calls, or not calls, but get an agenda to go over things, and that there are things that are addressed that most people don't even know that we address. Yeah,
so the lights are in a framework, correct?
I'm sorry?
The lights are in framework?
Yes.
And there's a ledge on top?
Yes, sir.
So it doesn't emit light above?
I mean, they're light LEDs, they're soft LEDs.
Right, okay,
It's not like they're shining outward, they're not, I mean, we don't even have lights on our signs anymore.
right, okay. Well,
We did get approved by
yeah,
yes,
I learned my lesson.
do we want to do that?
yes,
Yes.
Table it?
yes.
Do we need,
To be clear, were you guys going to allow white only for
For right now, so we
Until-
can see.
next meeting?
Until next meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Or is the
Or-
complaint make it have to go off?
no,
Okay,
no, you guys
All right.
decide what you're going to do.
all right.
So if my recommendation to you, and so just for housekeeping, the first motion dies, the motion to deny dies
Yes.
for lack of second. If you want to make a motion that would allow them to be on as white for the next month, and then, come back at meetings for a decision. So you wouldn't actually be tabling it, you'd be providing a 30-day, or I wouldn't say 30-day, even, I would just say a month approval, to be brought back to the next meeting. He really doesn't have to do anything to bring it back. I'm going to use the same information that he submitted, but it gives
Right.
y'all a chance to see it and decide. This wouldn't be, appropriate if the lights weren't there, but they're there. You can look at them and see what you think.
Okay.
Okay,
And
all
you can
right.
undo it if you don't like it.
I'll make a motion
Yes.
for 1 month approval till our next meeting. Which I believe is
December 5th.
December 5th,
Yeah.
2023. Consistent white lighting across the Strand, and we will reconvene at that time.
Is there, did we put a time frame in there? Nighttime, daytime, all day?
It won't be on during the day.
Yeah.
Okay, nighttime, dusk
I
to,
believe it
dusk to
says
dark.
in there, I think it says
Okay.
in there date.
So,
I second it.
so I have a motion and a second to allow the lights till the December 5th meeting.
Yes.
And then a decision will be made. So I got a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is passed.
All not in favor,
cares?
say nay.
No.
All those you say nay?
No,
I said aye.
I said aye.
Yeah, but,
No.
No, we're good.
all right,
You were looking at me.
we're good? Okay. Is the architect here? Okay, all right, let's get to this one here. Consideration and possible action on calling a public hearing to be held on December 5th, 2023 at 6 p.m. related to the rezoning request of approximately 3 acres of land near the intersection of Clipper Street and CB Stewart Drive from B commercial to I institutional.
Members of the commission, you have the information in front of you. We also have the church here tonight. I'd like to give just a 10-minute or so presentation to kind of explain the why behind the request. And then again, at the end of this, the single action tonight would be to call a public hearing. No other action is needed, but in the interim, again, I'll turn it over to the church and they can talk about the vision.
All right, thank you. My name is Jeff Olive, and I serve on staff at the Williams Methodist Church as the executive pastor of church planting, overseeing the development of new churches and new locations. Briefly, the Williams began, the Williams Methodist Church began in 1978. The church has roughly 14,000 members at the moment. We have 2 external locations aside from our Woodlands campus. We have a campus in New Forest, and we've launched a campus in Montgomery, and I'll say more about that in a moment. Over the next 5 years, we have a vision to start 2 or 3 more campuses in strategic locations, and part of this I'll show you is where many of our people are already driving from and coming from, and so we're also looking to go toward them in all of this. Part of the mission of the church is to reach people for Jesus, disciple them in faith, and help those in need. It's been one of the hallmarks of the church for all of these years, is being part of a community, being with those who live and work and play and worship in the community, but also those who are in need. And so as we are moving into Montgomery, we're looking at all that aspect. How are we involved in the whole life of the community and the whole life of our people who are here in the community. Earlier this year, we formed a strategic partnership with a local church that is getting started. It is now called the Church at Montgomery. And Pastor David Linvall is here, and Pastor Cave Matthews is the pastors there. Cave is not present with us. As we have been meeting so far at Oak Hills Junior High off Keenan Cutoff on Sunday mornings. Currently, we have a little over 100 people who gather on Sunday mornings in that location.
How many?
A little over 100 who are average worship attendance. I would say there's maybe 175 people who are involved in the church, but for some reason you can't get everyone there on the same day.
So is that Sundays, you're saying 100, or are you saying
Yes.
Wednesday?
Sunday morning,
All right.
10:30, there's a little over 100 people who gather for worship. There is a target market area slide on the slide deck. You can see I have this slide to show you. I'm going to show you the piece of property in a second in the location. What I did is I developed a 5-mile radius and then marked on the map those people who the church is currently in relationship with. So all the red marks that you see, all those red dots are people who are either members of the church or guests of the church or involved in some way. And so this is within just 5 miles of the location currently. And our intent, of course, is to continue to reach out to new individuals. We, in the course of this, we've been looking for the right location because we know that we can't meet in the junior high forever. And so we are looking for that right location where we'll have a permanent location and begin to move in that direction. It was important to us that we find a strategic location in terms of where you reach people who are north of 105, south, east, west. We wanted to really try to locate and be central, be part of the community, part of the city. And so we have narrowed it down from a number of pieces of property to one that was located, you'll see it on the slide, it's called the subject site here, at the corner of Klepper and C.B. Stewart. There are 14 acres there. This location, for context, is right across the building that you see to the right of the property is Ransom's. So for context, that is the location that is right across. And so we have found this location that we believe is the right location. There are a few things that we've got to address and we'll talk about here. One of the things that we're doing currently is we are in review of our site at Wood Forest and expansion of our Wood Forest campus. So we're working with our architects in this expansion currently, and one of our architects is here tonight to talk just briefly about the site plan, the kind of proposed plan for this site. So once you get a feel for that, and the type of building that will be put on there. So Suzanne, I'll turn it over to you.
Have you purchased the property yet?
The property is not purchased, and Mike Christopher will talk a little bit about what we're hoping to get both from the planning and zoning and from the city. There's just particular assurances that we need to know because there are some zoning issues with it. Before we close on it, we need to rest assured that it's going to be something that we can build on and the child will be pleased with us being part of the community.
Thank you. My name is Suzanne Bird with Jackson and Ryan Architects, and if we can change to the next slide. In conjunction with the church, we have produced this very conceptual site plan of how we would propose to begin and also future phases of development on this campus. The goal of the campus is to be welcoming to all people from the community, people of all ages, kids and on up. And so as you come into the site, you're invited into this common plaza. This is a place for people to fellowship and gather, and for the whole community to come together. We do have parking that's accessible right along the buildings and then a larger parking lot. There's a sidewalk that runs all along C.B. Stewart Drive for this property. And then as you can see, most of the area will be left as green space for activities, but also just for the beauty of the area. On the next slide, you'll see the next series of slides, I guess. We're going to show images of the Wood Forest campus. Not that we're going to do the exact same at this new campus, but what it does show is that part of a welcoming campus is to have the same feel and scale as the neighborhood in which it's going into. And so that's very important in the development of this. Also, the materials that will be used are natural and durable, so that this is a building that will last and be welcoming. People will want to come and gather here for hopefully generations to come. And so Wood Forest campus, as an explanation, has been well planned in order to be able to accommodate not only their congregation, but lots of community activities as well. And so that is our plan to do that same thing here at this new campus.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm Mike Christopher. I'm a church member and also kind of a volunteer project manager for this site. And you can go to the next slide, Dave. So the timeline that we're working under, we got the property is under contract at a very price that works in our budget, but due to that, I think, pricing structure, the seller expected a quick close. And we've got a inside closing date at the end of the year and an outside closing date at the end of January. And we have kind of two things that we've been working with the city on. One is zoning and one is planning. And Dave's been extremely helpful and responsive during a very short feasibility period that we're on right now. The first is the zoning part of the property is zoned in the planned development zone, connected with a developer that's been in town for a long time. And then, so that's the cyan color. And the yellow color of the property, portion of the property is currently zoned as commercial. And it's our understanding we've got to rezone that as institutional. We'd love to have some flexibility. I think if there was some small chance that we didn't raise the funds to build the building here or build the church here and needed to sell it down the road, we'd love some flexibility in the zoning changes to be able to revert back to commercial. I'm not sure if that's something that the city's going to be able to do and probably can't speak to tonight. But that's just understanding that we're working with a lot of donated money to buy this property, and then once we rezone the institutional, it may be hard to unwind that if we ever have to sell it in the future. So I always like that back point. Next slide, Dave.
What's the blue? What'd you say the blue?
So the blue is currently, I think, zoned under the planned development, which I believe gives us the flexibility to do a church.
That's an
The yellow is currently commercial, which does not give that flexibility.
And that's the only part that you would be asking about, is that?
Just rezone that one.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
The yellow portion, which is approximately 3 acres of the 15-acre tract.
Is it reversible? Or can we do a variance or give a time frame?
It'd be a similar process.
Both with our city attorneys as well as their legal team to figure out, kind of what the options are.
Okay,
You know,
so it's in conversation, okay.
Yeah, we're, sympathetic to the idea that if the whole deal falls apart, what options are there? So,
Okay.
And then the next slide, Dave. Probably the bigger challenge is the property is currently plotted as a commercial, restricted for commercial reserve. And in here, we're working with Dave and your city attorney to see what avenues we have to go through to possibly replot it as to provide the use for a church. So there's some options we're still working out with Dave and your city council. Depending on how those options shake out, if what we think is the current situation, it may require a vacating plat, which may require us to go to the adjacent 21 single-family lot owners and have them sign off on the plat that changes the restriction of the reserve use. So we're hopeful that we can find a path that is works for the state procedures of plotting and meets those procedures. That won't require all of the signatures, but we're willing to go door knock on 21 homes if that's what it takes. We just have a short fuse, and we've got to kind of know if we're going to be successful by the middle of December when our feasibility is up, because we've got to make that decision on whether to pull the plug on the contract or not. So I think we're going to be working really closely with Dave and your city attorney on figuring those options out. And then the last slide, I think Jeff is going to cover. This is one I did want to share. So we understand the prior, the seller gave us some due diligence material and showed us the prior contractor, prior buyer was trying to do a pretty dense residential community there shown on the right. So as a comparison, obviously the church use is going to have a lot more green, open space, a lot less impervious cover, and I think will be a pretty good neighbor for the community.
So the slide or the picture on the right is what could go there.
Correct. Well, that's what was, I think, a prior buyer.
I mean, what's designated through the developer.
right, the planned development district would have allowed, something like that to be, built.
That'd be a breath of fresh air if the church goes through, with everything being crammed in town right now.
And then our last slide just touches on what the timeline looks like. And so, as I mentioned, we've got to have some successful rezoning in December, a path to replat or vacate a plat you can probably know later than 2026 is what that looks like.
Is that in our packet?
It is not, no, all
This
the stuff
PowerPoint is-
Okay.
It's their presentation materials.
Can we get it in the minutes?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Can we get it in the minutes?
Yep.
Thank you.
And with that, we've got any questions?
I do.
Got it?
Unlikely I have any questions, but I do. The liquor law,
Yeah.
because you are a church, Ransom serves alcohol. I'm not quite sure about the putt-putt. If they have margaritas on Saturday, I'm not sure. Spoke briefly with someone, something about the city has some ordinance or laws or whatever, but the true Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission has the real law about how far away. Just bringing that to your
Right.
attention. And with all this, you would do just like a subdivision, you would go to the city engineer about your sewer, the drainage, the fire, the police, the turning radius, the way the traffic goes in and out, okay? Outdoor activities, would that be concerts? Not that it'd be a problem, because we do it just right down the road in that open area. You know, we have mud runs and festivals and all that. So I'm just wondering in relations to the subdivision that's right behind you. You know, we have ordinances and we have variances for, you know, noise blockage or lighting blockage and stuff like that. You would have poles that shine down lighting onto your parking area. And you said natural durable material. I saw metal. Just asking.
Yeah, on that campus, metal was used as an accent piece, but the vast majority was wood and stone.
Okay. So you understand why I brought all that stuff up? I mean, whether it happens or not, those are the questions. You're going to come, yes, someone will come back to us and ask us about a fence, the lighting, yeah, about how much noise they're going to make, or music, and so just FYI.
Yeah, and I know those are questions to be answered later, but,
Yeah.
you know, we intend to be, you know, good neighbors with all of this. We've done outdoor events before, and we understand certainly have decibel counters, and we're able to, you know, ensure that the decibel level is at the right stage. And so, yeah, we're sensitive to that, and we certainly, some people already live there, we want to be good neighbors to them. But we actually think we'll be better neighbors to them than whatever else might go in there. So I think they should be happy with this as well.
You can make it a Woodlands, you can make it
We're kitty cats compared to them.
Okay,
Anything, Bill? You got anything? Anything?
no.
Okay.
So
I just appreciate y'all coming, working with the city. Not often that happens, so I appreciate it. Continue to do so, especially during design. It's very helpful. With that, I will make a motion to call a public hearing to be held on December 5th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Here at City Hall.
I second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion, a second. All in favor of the rezoning request for December the 5th, 2023, say aye.
Aye.
All negative, say no. Nope. Motion carries. So the public hearing will be held on December 5th, 2023 at 6 o'clock.
I like all those trees.
Okay, where are we at now? All right,
Oh, yeah, we have to go to the next.
there we got them ready for the next one.
No.
Gotta go find all this.
Sorry, get out of it.
All right, yep.
Oh, we have the crawfish.
Yep, you ready?
Yep.
All right, item number 5, consideration possible action on exterior modifications for the proposed Crawfish Kaya restaurant located at 14335 Liberty Street in the Historical Preservation District, as submitted by Ryan Rowe.
Members of the commission, Mr. Rao is here this evening to go over these changes. You have in your packet a whole list of things that he is, proposing to do. He's a new, not a restaurant, but a new to town business owner that is looking to move into the former Wings place. So with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Rao. And again, you have the list there. If I can point you to your agenda packet, sort of the numerals there, the 1 through 8 is what he's looking to do. You guys can handle those, individually, collectively, in groups.
Yep, okay.
Step by step.
I think we'll handle them, since there's so many, we'll handle them individually.
Yep.
Okay.
Just quick, previous to that, there was one for a sign that was submitted previously before this.
It's in here.
Is it in there?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Signs are,
I believe it's line item 1.
oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was looking down at the end of my list. Sign is actually.
That's number 1.
1 and 2, you've got the
Yep.
overhead sign and then the one on the door, or I'm sorry, on the wall there under the, under the roof, right? You got 2.
No, there will just be one up on top, where the one Montgomery is right now. So basically, that's it.
Delete 1, 2. Okay. You have anything, or we're ready to get started? Okay. I guess,
Thank you for allowing this today and
okay.
forward to going through it.
I guess we'll start number 1, the new sign to replace the Wings over Montgomery sign above the porch.
Judge Commission, that's going to be between, page 33 has it, but then back, we've got 10, 12 pages back and finding the sign applications. If you look on 51, starting on page 51 of your packet, you see the information on the sign.
Have you signed the lease agreement already?
Yes, it's on there.
And how long is your lease?
It's for a year with an option to buy, which is our plan.
And when does your year start?
It had already started at the beginning of October.
I want to correct that on page 56 of your packet, guys. I'm sorry, that's where this sign that goes, this is the one that's going to replace the wing sign up above the porch. Is what
Okay.
you're looking at.
All right.
Total dimensions of the sign are 60 inches by 56 inches, so roughly 5 by 5.
And it's,
Is it similar to the sign that's there?
No.
Bigger? No, I mean size-wise.
Oh, size-wise.
the same.
I'm not quite sure the size of it.
Looks like
It's
it.
close to the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
yeah.
As a reminder, the regulations for signs do not, you're not bound to those regulations in the historic district, but again, wall signs are allowed to be up to 60%. This is at, roughly, 25 or so square feet, 23 square feet. We're not anywhere near 60% of the front elevation of the building.
Are you going to put, I thought there was a little light that came out. Was there?
Currently, I believe it's a light underneath, but I think there maybe is a light above, I think.
Yeah, you can
Which is what we want to do.
down.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, the picture of the sign that I see now, I think that's kind of an old version. The black background is now going to be white. It's like, so it's actually kind of going to blend more into the building
Okay.
background of that sign.
Yeah, the border.
Yes, yeah, that's, yeah.
Gotcha, I think I just had an errant design in there somehow.
So it's
This one?
It's on page 52,
Yes.
guys?
page 55 or 52?
Yeah, page 50.
Yeah,
There's multiple images.
yeah, 50.
Yeah, I see the difference now.
Yeah.
One of these has a black background, but on page 52, you see the white background. That's what
Okay.
you're proposing to go up on there.
Actually, I seen it the other day. Did you put something up?
There's just a banner.
Yeah, I noticed right away.
Thank you.
Like it was very noticeable.
Well, this one is all made out of aluminum. It's actually from a company out of Maryland. They actually, every little piece is cut out, laser cut, and it's 5 layers to make it look 3D.
Oh, cool.
And put all on there, so, and then powder coated. Very nice on there.
How are you attaching it?
It'll be bolted to the side.
Okay.
It's really only about 50 pounds, believe it or not, because of the aluminum.
Seeing how are you open, you're not open for business yet, you're waiting for all those inspections, right?
Yeah, we need to do quite a bit of stuff to the outside and different areas.
When would the sign go up if we
I just got a notice yesterday that it's completed and they're shipping in about 5 days.
Okay.
So anytime after you approve, and it gets here.
I make a motion, you remove the sign and put your new sign up.
I'll second that.
Okay. I got a motion to remove the old Montgomery, Winslow Montgomery, and install the new Crawfish Kai sign as per the white
Yes.
example. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. On to number 2, new sign over the porch on the front wall of the building.
That one sounds like it's not needed. Again, I think, so we got 2 sign applications, one with the black and one with the white. I think that was my mistake.
Well, no, actually, the other was for a temporary sign.
Okay.
So that's what that was for, was just a temporary banner until.
On the
we
side.
get the authorization for the new
Okay.
sign.
Gotcha.
But since we got that.
So number 2's not even here.
Not necessary.
Yeah,
So the banner that you have up, because we have, you know, the thing about banners in downtown Montgomery for a certain amount of days and stuff like that, he does have approval for that banner to be there for a certain amount of time, and then the ordinance policeman will come by and tell you to take it down. Is that a correct statement?
Pretty
Okay.
much, yes, ma'am. Sign official can grant a temporary banner for up to 30 days. Again, that's at the discretion of the sign official, who is me, for, grand openings and things like that. You know, we generally try to be business friendly when we can.
So is number 2 is scratched?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
If it's okay if I can just have the temporary there until the new.
Yeah,
Yeah, she'll come by. She'll come by and let you know.
Okay.
all right. Item 3, demo side wood deck replaced with concrete patio.
If you guys will recall, Mr. Haynes had built a wooden deck there to the side, and so if anybody has any, thoughts or questions, it is in your packet there what he's intending on doing. Page 34, 35 shows you kind of what he's, what they're talking about there.
Is it going to be sloped, straight?
No, so it will, the elevation of the current building,
Yes.
there is a section there now with patio. It would come off of that and be
Okay.
covered with that.
What's underneath the deck right now?
Yeah.
So right now, there is the grease trap underneath there. So it would be, those lids would still be part of
You'd
that.
have to keep
level
that there,
would be
yes.
concrete,
Okay.
So that they're accessible at all times.
Is that a city approved, the
We
way it
would much
is?
rather have a concrete
Yeah.
slab there than a wood deck with those covers there.
100%.
And
Yes.
so how are you going to access emptying your grease traps? Because that parking lot to that white 2-story building,
Right, they can do it from the front of the building.
okay,
There's access.
I was just, because right there's tight, there's that telephone pole,
Yeah.
used to be a telephone booth there,
Yes,
cute, yeah.
that is sold. Unfortunately.
How long would this take and when do you plan on doing it?
Start as soon as possible.
And you would pour the concrete immediately?
I would say.
Like hand in hand, this is a hand in hand thing?
Pretty much. There's some discussions we had.
I don't know a lot about constructions and tearing it down and what's left and cement and all that. It'll all be city approved, right? Somebody will go by and,
Right, you don't need a permit for, the flat work he's gonna, for, we don't, require a deck
Okay.
permit or anything like that for that.
In a similar situation to what we had with going around H wines, right?
yeah.
Yep. I'll make a motion to approve the demolition of the side wooden deck and replace with concrete patio.
I second it.
Okay, I have a motion to approve and a second on the demolition of the wood deck and replace with concrete. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, number 4, extend the front porch roof.
So I put a small note on there, again, just for so we're all clear that, any approval of the P and Z is not an approval to get started on something that would require a building permit.
That's what I keep asking with the permit,
It
yeah.
is in addition to a building permit, not in lieu of a building permit. So if we can just, everybody know and understand that there would need to be a building permit that meets the International Building Code that's adopted by the city. But here tonight, we're just asking about the concept. Does it move forward? Does it not move forward? So staff is recommending that we not approve the request, again, based on the ordinance. The ordinance says that the front building lines in downtown should align with the building next to them. There's no way for staff to recommend approval of it if it's not lined up. So that's.
So you understand that you need permits before you start anything, please?
Right, we're just asking, can we
Yes.
go down that route and whatever, this is what we'd like to do. Basically, he's got one of those sail covers kind of there right now, right? Hanging sails. We just kind of want to extend that to like a permanent roofing over the top for weather, being able to dine in bad weather, per se.
But again, the city ordinance does not allow that because of the flush facades of the other buildings. You're going to be extending out past the H. Wines building by 6-7 feet.
There is, but there's another one down the street on the other side of H Lines that does extend past out to the street.
Yeah, you heard about the Liberty Bell, so
Yeah.
two doors down, their porch is basically up to the right-of-way line, up to the property line.
As well as across the street on the other ones.
Are you saying they're up to the line? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Are they up to the line? Have we had an ordinance?
What's on the other side of the street is up to the line, all that, it's existing, kind of, again, the building line requirement in downtown is if you build a new structure, add on to a structure, you should try to line up with the building that's most adjacent to you. So while he is absolutely correct, there's lots of buildings downtown that go all the way to that front line.
But it wouldn't be consistent with the bank and the historical bank and that other historical mercantile place that sits back. That's what we're saying.
That's what
Okay.
you're looking at, to me, for this, you're looking at the bank because that's the facade that is most,
Prominent.
related to this one.
I just want to be clear that the line item says extend front porch roof. The drawings kind of show, look, it's more just like the porch. I know there's a separate line item for the roof. Are there two line items for the roof, or is there one for the porch?
One for the roof, one for the porch.
Okay. Are we discussing the porch or the roof now? Because the next line item does say new patio cover roof over south
That's
side.
over the south side of the building. I can see how my number,
Okay.
I think the number is quite right. But you're gonna, with regard to the front porch, you're looking at two things. You're looking at extending the porch itself, the
Agreed.
walking surface,
Uh-huh.
about 3 feet out to where the bollards are today.
Yep.
And then a roof that would match that to go out all the way to
Okay.
that. So you're looking at those two items.
Okay.
And there's a walkway no, there's not a walkway right there.
No.
It's just cement.
Yeah.
So you're asking for that, whatever's penciled in right there or pinned in.
Basically out to those
Yeah.
bollards, yes.
Yeah, just coming out to there.
Do you anticipate people parking in front of you?
Well, I mean, from what I understand, it's a text dot road, and I guess they don't like to, but people do it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a lot of parking down there.
Yeah, it's not a lot of parking. I'm just wondering, because if you add to it, that's a definite no place for anybody to park,
I
but,
could do like H lines and put a sign out there, and, but
Yeah.
again, I don't know if that's allowed, so, but, I mean, kind of blocking people, but it's a text dot road, so I don't know if I can actually do that.
Would the bollards still be there, or are you
They would
replacing
still be
those?
there,
Okay.
yes. It's going up to the bollards.
Yeah,
not
you're going to
past-
stop at the bullets.
Right, just up to the bollards would still be blocking the actual porch.
Yeah.
Those should be in the parking line, is my guess.
Yeah, they are.
Very near the front parking line.
Let me see this.
what is that word you just said?
Bollards?
What's that? What's a bollard?
The bollards is the metal poles that come out,
Okay.
pretty much like in front of stores or
So
anything.
the metal poles.
Basically, to prevent somebody from crashing through into your,
Damaging property, anything like that. Just protects it.
What is it?
Protects people.
Yeah. This is a perfect picture of what it would
That's
look
what
like.
I'm looking at.
Yeah.
That's more for the roof too. The patio, I mean, just discussing here, the patio already looks like it goes past H1s a little bit. To me, I don't see a major issue extending the patio a couple more feet to the bollards, but we can discuss that. The roof I do get, I think that's a little bit different, but the porch itself extending the seating area a little bit more, I don't see a major issue with extending that out.
Is it right on the line, or is there, you know how subdivisions do the 3 inches or whatever it is off the fence line when you go to put a fence up? Is that what you're saying, is right on the property line? It can
no,
be?
it would actually be inside the property line.
Okay. I'm just, it gets, people get real technical
No,
with
I understand,
inches,
yeah, completely.
especially with this building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
Oh,
already,
yeah.
we've already had this building on the
How do I
docket
get my
before.
plug?
It's approved.
I mean, it's something we can be sure of, and I mean, obviously, you don't want to build outside the property line or anything like that. I mean, I think that would be, is there a building permit for sitting that deck?
Because you break
No.
that too,
Okay.
and do it
Well, we
down,
can-
and,
The roof structure itself,
Yes.
but in terms of the deck, if you guys act on the deck, they can,
Obviously, we wouldn't go past the property. I don't want to go past the bollards, and I know the bollards are within the property line. Actually, I like them being there for the safety of anybody sitting on the deck.
Yes.
I don't know much about roofing. Like it coming out, it'd be an extension from what they got, or,
Yeah, it's part
How
of
would
the,
that-
it's part of the downtown district facade.
So are we discussing the roof or are we discussing the porch?
I thought we were, which one is first, roof or porch?
That's what I want to make sure.
Which is first, roof or porch?
right now, we're on the roof.
Okay, on the
We're
roof,
on the
if
roof.
we're on the roof,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to table personally. I'd like to see a little bit more details on what the roof's going to look like.
I second that table.
Okay.
That's I was like trying to picture the roof, I was like, well,
And we can do that, we can get a better drawing and specification for that.
Okay. So at this point, we've got a motion and a second to, on the porch, front porch roof extension. Do we need second on that, or?
Sure, Mary
We got
Aye,
one?
second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Number 5, new patio cover roof over south side.
no, we gotta do the porch, don't we? We just said no, we just said table the roof, now we're
this
gonna
is-
talk about the
No, no.
porch.
Now this is just the patio.
This is
Just the patio.
This is
Okay.
just
on the other
just
side.
the-
Again, I kind of went out of order on my number, and guys, I jumped over to the south porch where we
Yeah.
were taking away the demo by the grease traps.
Right. So this is the patio cover over the new concrete pad.
Right.
Okay.
Facing south, on the side of the building.
Right.
We're good with extending the patio porch?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
If
Are
you
this-
guys have read item 6 on here. 6 is the front porch, extending the surface and the railing of the front porch out to those bollards that we've been talking about.
Number 6, I thought extend wood fence to match 504 Caroline, isn't that that's
Yeah,
the,
sorry about that.
that's that stained one.
Sorry about that.
I don't know if there is a specific one
I don't
for
think
this.
so, I can't find it.
Can I make one? Can I just
You
make
can
a
draw
motion?
too.
Can I just make a motion on this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve it as shown, providing all permits and such are, I don't believe there are any for this, but provided that everything's in line, you're inside your property line, I'll make a motion to approve the extension of the patio as shown here today.
I will second it, but are we talking colors and wood
He did
and all
mention
that
the-
yet? Or are we just talking?
The colors
we're
are
saying yes?
below.
All that is staying the way it is.
He,
It's all stained black, white.
It's exactly the same, extending 30 inches.
yeah,
Fencing around, everything's exactly against it.
Okay, just extending.
we can expand on that if we'd like on line
Yes.
item 8 too.
All right, I will second the extension of the front porch out to those metal poles.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to expand the front porch approximately 30 inches to the front poles. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we got that. Now we're on the side patio cover, correct?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
South patio roof cover over that new concrete area that you guys approved. Again, this is where the wood deck was. It's coming out. We replaced with concrete. That's for a roof.
It's this picture?
It's 35.
Yeah, it's that picture.
Okay.
So basically, the deck that's there right now is, it's like 5'10". It's actually going to be brought in to about 5 feet because it currently resides on the property next door. The stairs going down, because they've been on both before, and, you know,
Yep.
so it's able to do what they wanted. So now that we have neighbors and whatever, we're going to take those staircase off, so it will bring it within our property line, the side decking, basically, and then we just want to extend the patio cover out over that, to cover that 5-foot by 26-foot new patio area.
Of concrete?
The concrete part that you...
So you are gonna have people sitting out there?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I didn't, okay.
With people being out there, how do you feel next to your property?
We haven't discussed this yet, so we need to,
Yes, y'all do,
talk about that.
because y'all will come back.
So basically, our
They always
plan, one of the items in here is to put up a
Extend that fence.
little bit of it, well, that's a different, the fence that they put up, we want to extend that a little bit up to our decking, just to block our back door, but then also do a decorative black ornamental aluminum fence along that patio area where people would sit to distinguish the two properties, basically.
Okay.
Okay, we
Do
can
you
talk
like
about
those
that.
drawings, or do we need more detailed
No,
drawings?
I'd like to see these drawings with as well again. I'd like to just see it a little bit more, know what materials are being used, et cetera. So I'll make a motion to table the patio cover on the patio cover roof over the south side patio we approved, with pending more detailed drawings and materials.
I second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second to table the new patio cover roof over the south side, depending on viewing of detailed drawings. Is this going to hold you up a month?
Those two items, no, not necessarily.
Okay,
You can do the concrete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
concrete.
right. Okay, all right.
We're saying yes to the extension of the concrete.
You're not approving it on
No,
my property?
Is it on your property?
Yes,
we approved the demolition of the deck.
I understand. I just want to make sure that, like, when you're talking about these approvals, that there is a property line that goes right through.
Well, yeah, he has to stay on his,
Yeah, I mean, if we talk and work something out,
right.
that's...
Is there, so have y'all talked to him?
No, we haven't. He's reached out to me.
Okay, are you okay with the demolition of the side?
I'm okay with the demolition.
Are you okay with concrete being poured?
I'm okay with, I had discussed with Damon that was going to be a landscaped area so that you have easier access to the grease traps. I haven't discussed a patio that was being accessed by,
Dave, this building we're on our second set.
What you're doing on this property, again, there's no action that you're approving on anything.
Okay.
14335 Liberty Street, so, and, you know.
Well, as long as the concrete pad is poured on,
Right.
the proper property.
Yeah, it's already been approved.
On somebody else's
Right.
property,
Or
but
just-
whatever you're.
Yeah, it's already been approved on his property.
Right, it's narrowly tailored to just
And-
this property.
So when you lease something and you do something, does the lease person that you lease it from have to approve these improvements on their property? that we-
To us, and he's given us full permission to do whatever we want to do.
Sure. Right, and.
Should we ask if that's in
I'll say,
writing?
in this case, I've spoken with Damon, Damon's fully aware. know,
You have spoken to Damon? Okay.
What he's doing is, again, that's between,
Okay.
the owner of the property and him. Again, in terms of all of these improvements, they can only be and only affect this property. In other words, I had the note on the drainage in there to ensure, that the roof drainage isn't going to be, falling over on
Correct.
the side. So those are some of the details that they'll,
Right, so we making sure none of that.
So the property lines, did you have someone come in and shoot the line on that property? Is that there? Are we going by
Well, we
what's?
have a survey of the property. We know where the line is.
Right, he's not done any improvements at all, so I don't know that he would have, gone out to look at the survey. But again, the pins are there, both properties have been.
Pins are
surveyed the
there.
past couple
Pins
of
there.
years.
Okay.
So,
Pins are there, string tied to it, don't go past it.
So the patio will be poured within property lines?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, we need to, let's patio within property lines.
But again, you got somebody that's working, allowing workability here, because even the grease traps are not on that property. They're on Tom's property.
And here we go again, because this was the
So,
electricity and
I
the
mean,
fence.
let's just be
Yeah,
transparent.
we need to be, because we don't
I
know,
mean,
we're taking the
We
word.
want to see him succeed.
Okay. Well, I understand, but this was, when you guys bought the property, they were already there. And I think that was worked out between you and Damon.
No, it's just they were on his property that he purchased.
But
So I just want to point out, you got two people here trying to work together and make something work. We want to see him succeed, but at the same time, there are improvements on someone else's property.
well, no, I'm not getting any improvements on the property.
No. Grease traps are improvements.
No, we're not doing anything to the grease traps.
But
Nothing
you
at all.
got to utilize them, right?
Yeah, but they're on our property. The lids
I
are,
thought they were in.
hang on, the lids are on our property.
Okay.
So that's where they get access.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
They can access them from the street?
Yes.
So is this a legal issue? Because remember, we had to go down that rat hole with the fence.
You're okay, just saying if he does it on his property. Now, if we talk and we work out a lease agreement
Yes.
or something,
Yes.
that he can come onto my property, that's a different story.
Yes,
He's
it
gonna
is.
have those
But
conversations.
any permanent structures need to be put on,
His property.
Yeah, there's
You're
no,
right.
of course.
right,
Yes.
foot traffic, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, foot traffic, parking, whatever's between y'all. But permanent structures need to be built on inside the property line, right?
I have no problem doing that. Like I said, I've reached out, tried.
Okay.
So, but the lids themselves are on the property of the wing place.
Do we,
So any access will be done on that property.
okay, so these are going to be in the notes and it's being recorded. So we agree that the grease trap lid is on your property. You're pouring to the property line of the new concrete, making those accessible from
Yes.
from 149 in Montgomery, Texas. The grease trap underground goes from his property over into yours.
Apparently it does, yes.
That's between y'all, whatever
I don't
happens.
know how that was, David still owns the property, I don't know.
We just have to be,
Right.
this property is very sticky. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Where are we at, Lord?
Oh, so we finished up the south patio, line item 6, extended wood fence.
All right. So we approved the patio cover, correct, on the
No.
south side?
No covers.
We tabled it.
The table and
Tabled
covers,
it.
okay.
We gave them permission for the concrete and permission to
Okay.
extend 30 inches.
So number 6, extend the wood fence to match 504 Caroline on the south side of the building.
If you look on page 42 of the packet there, you can see a little highlighted line on the site plan that just shows, kind of roughly where the existing fence ends. And again, Mr. Brown had mentioned a small extension of it to essentially enclose the back door of the restaurant. If you guys are familiar, there's a back door at the end of the patio over there, at the end of that side porch. ask me or the applicant if you have any questions on where that matching 8-foot tall wood fence is.
Just a question. The dashed line on page 42, is that the property line? Is that pretty accurate?
It is.
Okay. Well, no, the only reason I'm asking because referencing back, I mean, it was only, looks like only a few inches were over the steps.
Right.
Okay, just looking at that. Okay. So the fence is currently built on the property line right now? On the north side of your property?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 8 foot tall, and the door to the fence is going to be
36
It would be
inches.
on our property again.
on the inside.
Facing the road.
Yeah,
Okay.
facing 140.
It's just to block off the side door that goes to the kitchen, basically, and a little more room in the back.
And all it is fence.
Yeah, the metal fence that's there now will come down.
What is that mean,
good.
8 foot covering the side door?
Okay.
That over here? Oh, covering the side door, it says
Yeah.
that tall.
So it'll come up to the existing patio that's going to be demolished,
Yes.
correct? Okay. 36-inch gate.
Where do you see the gate?
That's right.
Did I go down lower?
That's right.
Oh, there it is, okay.
It's on the drawing. And then I believe in his narrative, he said 36 inches, right? 3-foot
Yeah.
gate. You're going to stain the part facing 149 the same color, correct? It's all going to be the same?
Exactly
Okay.
the same outside.
Yeah. I think, to me personally, I think it'll look better than the metal fence that's currently there with the gate. So I'll make a motion to approve extending the wood fence to match 504 Caroline on the south and east side of that area, that little corner.
I second.
Okay, I got a motion to accept, second to extend the wood fence to match 504 Caroline on the south side of the building. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Number 7, new 4-foot high black wrought iron style fence, metal fence along the south patio.
The condition, if I can find on page 49 of the back there, is just kind of standard 4-foot wrought iron style. I think you mentioned it's like a powder-coated aluminum. You know, we call it a wrought iron fence. They really don't make wrought iron fences any longer, but it's a wrought iron style fence. And that would go from the wooden fence around to
Just basically to the front of the poured concrete, enclosing that eating area, basically.
essentially the perimeter of where the old wood deck, concrete is going to be.
Within the property line.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
So the fence would end, concrete's there, and then the porch, you'd walk up, and there's no fence right there. It's just open for people to come in into the,
So currently there's a railing
Yes.
that comes all the way up and then runs into the building in the
Yes.
front. It would basically do the same thing.
okay. Okay, so is there any other wrought iron fence in downtown Montgomery? Okay.
I just want to ask the question. I know there's a cost difference. Would you consider matching the picket fence that's going around right now?
And that was a thought, yes.
If we're going to be matching
The
the,
idea was just rather how that looks compared to,
I mean, that's what we're up here for, is how does all historical
Right.
downtown go together?
Because
And
it's not close to any wrought iron. It bumps up against the white.
that's my only thought, is that I know there is other wrought iron around, but just the seamlessness of it would be the curb appeal would be a little bit more.
I mean, I get it, I understand, but I mean, On the other hand, you have the big 8-foot fence, and then you have the little white picket fence as well.
You're going from an 8-foot to a 4-foot as well.
Right.
I'm only asking for, I mean, you can have a 4-foot picket fence.
I mean, it's just basically a divider. I mean,
Yeah.
it-
I agree.
in order to-
I agree there's a necessity for it. I think it's a good way to put a line down there. I'm just asking if there's some leniency on the materials.
It goes with the aesthetics of downtown Montgomery in that area. We're trying to make it pleasing and so that it flows and so it stays in the character.
And I think, in our case, I think that even staying within that white picket would probably be fine too. I just worried about the sturdiness of that going over concrete.
Oh, I guess you'd have to set your post
In
in concrete. It would have to all be in one gray smooth.
You're correct. So,
Aesthetically, the wrought iron fence, although it appeals to your Cajun facade, it does not appeal to the flow of what's just happening. And there's quite a bit of white picket fence that's coming up to your doorstep.
now,
Yes, sorry.
Could-
Could have come in maybe two.
Could you extend the same,
try, but you only do this once a month.
can you extend the same materials on the front porch
What do you mean?
with the, just the wood rail and the hog panel?
And that's the thing, the stuff on the front porch is very different, obviously, from other aesthetics around there.
Yes,
But it is what's already there,
yes.
so.
Could you incorporate that?
I don't know if I want panels. You want
Well,
panels?
that's
I
what's there
figured
now.
I figured the wrought iron would look nicer than
Right.
that, but.
I'm just
if that's
concerned,
what you
yeah.
choose, that would be cheaper for me than doing the other.
It's just inconsistent with what's going on in that area.
Yeah, I'm just concerned with the people there eating pick wood, picket, kids getting
The
splinters.
same white picket. Is that 4 foot, is that 3 foot, you know?
I think it was 3
Yes.
foot.
4 foot?
I think we looked at 3 foot.
Should be 4
It
foot.
might
I
be
thought it was 4
Okay,
foot.
I may be wrong.
I think it's 4 foot.
I think you're right.
We had that discussion
had
too.
2 and 2,
4 foot,
yeah.
Yes.
And again, I'm just looking for approval to be able to do something. I mean, if we have a discussion later
What do you
that
think
works
about
out better
that?
between us, then I would
Make
get
it
for
look
that.
like that,
But
how it is.
I like, that's what Bill was saying. I like it. I like continuing what you have in the front. I like either one.
How do you feel about that?
Because I know it's different than what's other there, but you already have that on the property. I feel like we're just having multiple different materials.
I want to stay
Kind of piece.
consistent.
and continuing what's on around the front porch,
Yes.
Yes, with the panels, the back posts, how do you
Again,
feel about that?
we could do that, and then it gives a little top rail as well and painted it within the same color scheme.
That way it's consistent, you know,
I'm fine with that too. I mean, actually, it gives people a place to put their drinks if they want to stand on that. It's fine with me. I mean, I would actually be good with that consistency, yes. I have no problem with that.
I'll make a motion. Can I see a better picture? Can you zoom in on that for me?
sure.
So I'll make a motion to approve installing a new 4-foot high, I guess that'd be post and cattle panel fence on the south side around the new patio.
To match the color the color
Yep.
That's
scheme of what's already going on.
And that's the
Okay.
next one, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
So Dave, you're going to change that in the notes or whatever? Because that's not what he asked for.
Right, the motion's gonna be what you guys just made.
Okay?
Yep.
So the motion is to
It's to approve.
continue, to approve, to continue the railing type from the front all the way around to the, or on the side, also on the south
I knew
side
what it was.
porch.
It's tough to.
I second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Now Number 8, repaint exterior of the building, same white, black color scheme with addition of red trim.
So the red has been mixed, we're not doing red.
Oh, not doing good.
So we're just going to stick with the black and white?
Okay, good.
So that
Okay.
is, and again, my understanding was you were gonna, it's black today, you paint it black, it's white today, you paint it white.
Correct.
So it's not really, not even a line item, really?
Yeah.
Right.
There's no change other than fresh paint.
Okay.
That would be your guys' action.
Okay.
And be able to do that.
And of course, the new rail.
Yeah. The new rail and the extension.
Yes. And the concrete pad is painted black, and that's what's already there.
Okay.
So does that conclude, that's all the line items, right?
So we don't have to approve the paint.
No, because it's not a modification.
Okay. He's just refreshing it, okay.
Okay.
That concludes this item.
That's it. Okay.
So we're good on everything except for the two roofs.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Just come back with
Just-
a little bit more detail.
Yeah, okay.
Just make sure any permit, and if you do anything different than what we talked about tonight, please call.
Yeah, I'll speak with Dave.
Because you know what, we do have special meetings.
Oh, these?
Yeah, sometimes when people call us and say, can you show up?
You mean I could have done this before?
No, but we don't suggest that, but
Yeah. It's tough.
if it's an emergency,
Gotcha. All right, well, I appreciate it, thank you very much,
Thank you.
All right.
and we will work friendly with our neighbors.
Please.
please,
Please.
you remember that 3 months from now.
Yeah. Please.
We'll talk.
All right, item number 6, presentation of a proposed 96-acre estate lot, single-family residence developed as submitted by Grace Point Homes.
Commissioners, we've got the development team here. We've got a presentation I'm going to pull up here. Thank you guys for your patience. I'll let you take the podium, introduce yourself, and the floor is yours.
What page? What page?
It's 60.
Introductory, just a land plan.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see.
My name is Justin Hood. I'm a Montgomery County resident for about 28 years. I think y'all know Tom. And Derek's part of the team. So, just want to thank y'all for your time. Being a developer and having served on ACCs and POAs and everything, being empathized with decisions y'all have to make. It's probably a lot higher level than that. Deal with Christmas lights at home, what kind of rock.
Yeah.
I think y'all may have seen this, I've commissioned and seen it before, this tract of land, these couple tracts of land.
Okay.
So our development arm of our company, affiliated with Grace Point Homes, is Deb Point LLC, based in Montgomery, approximately 14 years before the part of Home Depot back there. In 2024, early 2024, we'll likely move our office west of 29 South. This is the location of the property. Current owner, CMC Properties and the Stewart family. Yeah.
Jenny Stewart?
Jimmy Stewart.
Gene Stewart. So it's a kind of a assemblage of two tracks. Chris Cheatham owns about 67 acres, and Stewart's had about 40 acres of their parcel that they're going to run a contract on later. So that's their location. So you kind of see that outline. You'll see that.
Ball field.
It's approximately 109 acres in that area. The southern access would be from Westway Drive. We're proposing to be off of Westway Drive.
Westway?
Westway Drive, right by the Napa. And then we would have a northern entrance off of Lone Star Parkway. And this will be a gated neighborhood. minimum lot size would be 1 acre, and our average lot size, if we get to it, so it's about 1.45 acres. So, yeah, there we go. So that's kind of the land plan, a picture of it, we'll have a better copy in front of you. We're proposing 64 home sites, minimum 1 acre, gated entrances off of Westway Drive and Lone Star Parkway. Really, we've been on the tracks, it's a gorgeous track, a lot of large, mature trees, and surprisingly, not too many pine trees, which is, kind of unusual for in this area. Yeah, so 64 home sites, and we want to really keep it kind of natural, and that entrance off the Westway, keep that as just kind of you have a sense of arrival coming up to this, this very kind of gate that would kind of blend in with nature. Put a picture there, we'd probably do a little something more subtle than that. Yeah.
So what is this
So that's
zone
just
right now?
What's the zone? Is it zone residential right now?
It is.
It is zone.
Because I thought they were going to build something on that piece.
It's all single family.
Okay.
There's a few going
Yeah.
through.
There's been a few ideas pitched.
Yeah, one of them I really liked, but it didn't come to fruition. So.
For small
Nice
lots.
gateway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
See Westway.
Isn't there duplexes back there?
There are,
There are.
What are you going to do with them? Go past them?
it's not part of it.
No,
we
our entrance before that. Or just kind of veer off to the left
Mm-hmm.
and go through there.
And behind itself.
If you go like that. So, I guess, just one thing to start kind of just thinking about is the thoroughfare plan and how we can work with the thoroughfare plan. We can work together to make the project feasible. I mean, that's kind of where we are right now. Thinking about our timeline, kind of like the church site. We're in the middle of feasibility. It's time to decide if we're going to spend quite a bit of money on drainage studies, environmental studies, some serious dollars on that, or to see if it's feasible. So there's a proposed north-south thoroughfare, and I believe the east-west thoroughfare is kind of
Yeah.
It's kind of gone away. Instead of the county and the city both said we don't need the east-west.
So looking at your screen there is that orange dotted line that goes east-west through the property. That's the thoroughfare that we're talking about. We've discussed that one with the county, and both the city and the county agree it's not necessary. The north-south one is something that we continue talking to the developer about where exactly to align it. If y'all remember with the thoroughfare plan, what's shown on here is not necessarily carved into stone. Alignments can move as needed to accommodate developments that come in. So that's a conversation that we're continuing to have.
What's it connecting to? Like the third?
The goal of the north-south would be to connect Lone Star Parkway to 105. If you will, Buffalo Springs to the west side.
Okay.
And the county's plan is ultimately goes on to 1097.
And taxes and all that? Okay.
There's no timeline on that connection or anything else. It's a line on a piece of paper at this point.
I mean, if we had our wish, it would be for it to go away just because of road noise and everything else. And
So what are you doing in the meanwhile? That dotted line is there. So what is your plan for that dotted line? Are you putting a house on either side of it or in the middle of it or?
no, that's kind of what we're bringing
Okay.
to the commission tonight, is just because it really doesn't work with what we're proposing to do. I know, in the past, focusing land plans with higher density, 40, 50-foot lots, but, with what we're proposing to do, kind of keep it natural in 1 acre, 1.5 acre lots on average, and gated also, obviously, you have a gated thoroughfare. So, we'd be looking for some guidance on if the city would consider
So that's not
adjusting this.
us.
That's more
You
the,
know,
that's the new
you get on
committee.
that, these guys are gonna do the same thing with city council.
Okay.
Next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, so again, don't feel, you know, the weight of anything that, you know, that would
Okay.
otherwise fall on council's court. You know,
Okay.
if you look at
That's a heavy thing, though.
this.
Think about that. Through fair. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we want to work with the city on location and, you know, the proximity to the project. When we're talking about, you know, $1 million plus homes and having a thoroughfare you can run along the back of those home sites, maybe challenging for us as well. So if there's an alternate point of entry off of 105 and come on Lone Star. That's kind of some sample photos of homes that we built, other builders built, that would be probably be a good fit for the neighborhood. We're talking about, you know, total taxable value, probably 70 in that more value for the homes in this community.
Where'd you say you build at? The
We
Woodlands?
built, in the Woodlands, High Meadow Estates,
With Forest.
Wood Forest.
Wood Forest, okay.
Sorry.
They have-
That looks like Wood Forest. That's why I said.
Yeah.
They have a couple of developments we're working on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Stillwater.
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 1488.
Nice.
The idea is to get away from the typical stamp on them, you know,
Postage.
yeah, postage stamp lots, and we got plenty of that around here. And you start to set the precedent for what can happen, because every developer that comes in here tells you you can't develop anything but, you know, high lot and all, which is not, that's.
Which all is crazy. We think we can.
Yeah, you can, it's achievable. It's just, most of the developers that have come through y'all in the last couple of years are in and out, don't really care what it looks like when they're down 5 years later.
Yeah.
So I have a question because I'm looking at this map. So I see the little legend down here, and it says floodway with straight lines through it. And when I first looked at this, I said, oh, that looks like a bridge. So is there a flood, is that floodland right there behind Napa? What is this?
Town Creek, the beginnings of Town Creek does flow through here, right? So right now, you're looking at the, you know, kind of the channel line of Town Creek. if you will. So
Okay,
it's a
okay.
floodway, it's not, you know, there's no, or not any standing water to speak of, but that's what they're showing, the floodway of Town Creek.
So you'll sell the property with a pond on it?
Some of the property will have the,
Yeah, because I see lot 39, 40, 41, 42 has a pond on it.
correct,
So
that would be for detention.
You're required to do detention like the county.
So that, but there are acre lots with that pond in it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Large, more than acre,
okay.
last 2 foot.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, you know, looks like about 3.5 acres.
Okay,
Yeah, those ones are pretty big.
Yeah.
On those. That's how we get maintain the 1 acre buildable site, the buildable portion of the lot, but incorporate the detention into it. Just kind of give those homeowners a buffer as well.
I like it. I know y'all are early on, and there's a long way to go, but this will probably be one of the first ones that actually has the lot width that we have limited, that we have in our statutes and ordinances.
It starts to set the precedent that it can actually happen. Y'all been trying to push 75-foot lots and giving variances left and right.
Yep.
And it's time, if you wanted to ever establish that, this is your opportunity.
so the land's bought?
It is not, it's on contract.
Yep.
Wade is a broker on the contract, we'll have to go back and get some extensions so we can do all this feasibility at this point in time.
Yeah.
See if there's going to be worth our while to pursue at this point, we're at crossroads.
There's no action for us right now.
That's right.
I like it.
Well, actually, any feedback that you guys can give, they can post it.
Well, I do have something to say. Imagine that. Are you the gentleman that owns the vintage home, the historical home on Caroline Street? Are you the owner? Are you the owner? You're the owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was here
So
6 months ago.
I just want to bring this up. We have met with your wonderful contractors, and they've done wonderful things downtown, but they have also sidestepped and stepped over and jumped and hopped and given us several different drawings, kind of like the crawfish gentleman. There was drawings we're like, we don't understand, you need to bring it back. I just want to be understood that what we do up here is we volunteer, and we really try to work for what's best for Montgomery. We really do. But there are guidelines, and when things are passed over or passed by or not listened to, it makes it very difficult to help our community. And it does set.
We need to hold this till the
Yes.
end.
Okay. He wants me not to say it, but I just want you to know you're here. And I will be addressing it before City Council, that we need to stay within the guidelines of what planning and zoning have set up for the historic district in Montgomery.
Okay,
So,
we need to
I know he wants
stick,
to end it.
we need to stick to the agenda. We can
Okay.
discuss this.
Okay, I'm going to quit now, but
Okay.
I'm going to mention it, so it's in the notes.
That's fine, that's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the presentation.
Yes.
Okay, item 7, consideration and possible action regarding a preliminary report on the city-initiated rezoning request of the property commonly known as 203 Prairie Street, Montgomery, Texas.
Members of the commission, you may recall last time we went through a rezoning process, so we've got kind of a 3-step deal that we're doing. The first step is the preliminary report. As is past practice for me, I've included a draft of the preliminary report. It's a very factual document. There's nothing to it other than the disposition of the property today. We're stating the facts, we're stating the size of the property, what the surrounding zoning is, and what it's asked to be rezoned to. So in order to have a public hearing, we have to have a preliminary report. So the action here is to edit this as you need, to you're comfortable with it. Again, it's your report, not mine. This is just a draft in front of you. But the first step in the next action on the rezone is going to be to approve a preliminary report that we can then go into a public hearing on.
So, okay, this refresh what went on here. The city bought the piece of property.
That's right, so the city bought 213 Prairie. Included in with 213 is 203, which is just the green space to the north of.
And there's another lot to the north of it.
That's right. You can almost see the building. I'm on page 62 there, which is the preliminary report, and you can see there the green space just to the north of the building is actually just a separate piece of property than what the building sits on.
But there's another small piece of property between that and the house that sits on Mason?
So that's part of Carl's backyard. The little triangle or the little rectangle just to the north of the
Right,
building, that's
right.
just part of Carl's backyard.
Okay.
So imagine kind of two small, skinny lots. The city owns one and the Broshes own one.
How wide is that?
I don't know offhand, but it looks like it's probably not more than about 30, 35 feet.
Okay.
Is that the .225?
Is this accurate? It looks
It is.
55 and 55.
Yeah, 55.
Okay. So the property that's being zoned will not actually go up to his, I'm going to go up to his property, but not the The fenced-in property that he has.
That's right, they go up to his fenced-in property. Now, just a reminder, to touch base on setback. So where commercial adjoins a residential zone, you've got a 25-foot vegetative setback there that will, essentially limit, half of this property to always being, green space.
Okay, all right.
The way that the city currently looks at it, the way that I look at it, when I look at a vegetative setback, that is not, so no parking lot, essentially, if it does not support a growing plant, it cannot go in a vegetative setback.
Okay, all right. So basically that whole, half of that, like you said, will be a setback.
Right, right. So I did call Paul today, I hadn't heard from him, I figured I would. So nice thing about a small town, you can pick up the phone and call someone. He was not able to be here tonight, he's working late, he's gonna come to council, he didn't have any material issues at present. He said he looked over a little bit, but didn't have a whole lot of concerns. That's not a formal, opinion
was that
from him,
big
but
circle you had?
just share what I.
That's the 200 foot,
talking
yeah.
about today.
All right. So if there was a big concern, he would be here.
Yes, sir. And he's got the opportunity. Next Tuesday, the city council is going to receive.
They're gonna have
the
theirs.
report. They're gonna hold
Is that
it.
where the old Knights place was?
Okay.
Is this where the Knights inspection was?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And out of 200 people, no one showed up?
We mailed out 13.
200.
letters. We published-
What did I say? Where did I read 200?
It's 200 foot buffer.
I swear I seen 200, I was
There's
like,
200 property
I'm
owners?
concerned.
Yeah. So
Sorry, thank you.
200-foot buffers, that called 13 individual owners of property. All were mailed a letter.
They all showed
Okay.
up.
Yep.
Okay.
We were here earlier.
All right.
Yes.
So number 7, so what's,
So the action is you guys want to approve a preliminary report so we can have a public hearing on that.
okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary report on rezoning request for 203 Prairie Street, Montgomery, Texas.
I second it.
All right, have a motion and a second for the preliminary report for the city-initiated rezoning of 203 Prairie Street. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, number 8, convene into public hearing regarding the preliminary report on the city-initiated rezoning of the property commonly known as 203
Sorry.
Prairie Street, Montgomery, Texas.
So what we're going to do now is just convene, just note the time that we're going to convene into a public hearing.
Okay, it is now, hang on, I didn't change my watch.
7:50.
7:50,
Change.
we'll convene into a public hearing.
Obviously, there's no one here. You don't have to wait a full minute. You can open
Anything?
it. You can say no one's here. We've got our, this is Kristen, by the way. She's our permit and
Okay.
utility clerk.
There we go.
Who on a free evening is hanging out at meetings.
Tuesday.
Nice.
So we,
She's going to volunteer.
there's no discussion on the preliminary report of the public hearing, so we close it at 7:51. Item 9, consideration and possible action regarding the preliminary report on the city-initiated rezoning request for the property commonly known as 203 Prairie Street, Montgomery, Texas.
Commissioners, again, as past practice, you have a draft report in front of you. Admittedly, this draft assumes that you're going to recommend approval of it. That's just add the word bullets.
Yep.
Some things. So, again, you can add to, you can remove, you can edit. This is your report, not mine, but it's a place to start for us tonight. Again, this report is what is delivered to City Council next Tuesday. They have a public hearing on it, and then they can take action on the rezoning.
If I remember from their initial meeting, that kind of spurred this. Their intent is to sell this, right?
That's right, that's
Okay.
right. They wanted to sell it under one zoning classification. Again, from a practical standpoint,
You just,
our setbacks do, still provide for a reasonable buffer for the residential property to the north. Staff has no material objections to the rezoning. I'll be happy to answer any questions or comments that you have.
The home that's adjacent to it is historic,
It is.
so that property is not historic land. That
It's all within the historic preservation district.
district. But there's nothing there of historic, there's not a home or a
There's not a
plat
structure.
or whatever, okay.
Yes, ma'am. There's no structure, and, same with 213.
So if we sell a business, if we sell it and we change it to commercial, and somebody wants to come in, they have to follow the historical guidelines. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
all right.
What the rezoning would do would be, if the person who buys the property needs to add some surface parking, they want to expand the building, they've got a portion of this empty space to be able to do it.
providing they leave some green space.
Right, right. They still have to meet all the development, requirements that we
Yeah.
have, so.
Go to that.
And when do people know this? When they buy that land? When do you tell them I need 25-foot vegetation? Do you tell them when they buy it? Or do they come to us or?
Usually,
Not to us, but to Montgomery.
Typically, the way things, happen in the development world, whether it's a site, they'll, if it's a bigger, more complex, project, they'll if they call me, generally, I refer them to the city engineers. If it's something that's not going to go through the city engineers, like the crawfish kai thing,
Yeah.
I, talk to them about any, setbacks or something that, may apply. Generally, everybody's aware that, that there's some setback of some sort,
Okay.
on the property, and that would just be part of their due diligence is, seeing, okay, if I'm gonna buy this property, how much of it am I gonna be able to use? So,
All right, so we send a recommendation to
yes, sir, you're
to
gonna.
the city council?
Wants to, in some form or fashion, some form of this report here, this draft, should be, again, you can edit the bullets, you can add to, you can take away, but you guys want to approve a final report, ignore my agenda wording that I think somehow
It'd be a
says
final
a
report.
preliminary report. What we want is a final report. We want to approve a final report. And again, that report needs to include your recommendation, whether you are recommending that council rezone it, or you're recommending that they not rezone it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. I'll make a motion to approve the final report on the city-initiated rezoning request of the property commonly known as 203 Prairie Street, recommending that it is rezoned to be commercial.
I second.
All right, I got a motion and a second to present to the city council the final report for the rezoning of 203 Prairie Street to commercial B. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. That's it.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
No commission inquiry?
You don't want commission inquiry?
Okay, commission inquiry, okay.
You don't want to look at colors too?
Oh, yeah, that's right, colors. I'm interested. You got my attention, yes.
I guess the
Forgot about
one item of for this commission inquiry is I don't know what happened at Caroline Street. Yes.
Yeah.
We denied a little patch of astroturf, and now the whole yard is astroturf. How does that happen?
Contractors doing what they want.
What is going to happen?
I'm going to city council meeting.
So right now, so on Friday, so to give you guys a little bit of backstory, so Miriam on Wednesday afternoon of last week had emailed me and said, hey, just told me, you had left a voicemail, said, hey, there's rolls of, I see the rolls of turf there. So I go by on Friday, either Thursday or Friday, because I was putting this together, and, saw that, okay, they've installed it, and on top of that, there's a putting green with little, flags.
Right.
In it, and so I talked to Gary, said, look, I've gone out to this property, tried to shut work down, on site right now, that, the city does not have the enforcement, mechanisms that we need to go out and essentially shut something down
The city does not have that?
as it's happening. We saw
Then
the
what?
same thing with we saw the same thing, with David Haynes, when he was in a parking lot.
Then why are we here? What are we sitting up here for?
I agree.
There are consequences, but there is not a stop this minute, don't do one thing more.
Even if we've said it.
There are not lesser consequences or anything else, there's just not a, we don't have the resources to
Enforce it.
immediately go out and force a from doing something on the property.
Because our minutes say it.
So the gentleman with the coffee shop, us here, agitating people,
Yeah.
we, why get our heart rates up and his heart rate up if we can't do anything about it?
So we do have options. We can do things about it. We just can't stop you in the moment. If you're out there, we're not going to go, yank a hammer at
Well, I understand that, but I mean,
What are the options?
what are the options?
it. So right now, I don't know. I'm still talking with Gary on trying to.
Gary's been talking about it since last
that-
Friday.
Between those two houses, this has been going on for 3 years.
Yep.
That corner.
Agreed.
And, us sitting here till, well,
8
it's not
o'clock.
9 o'clock, that's what threw me about 15 minutes ago, I'm going, wow. Sitting here for 2 hours and making a heartfelt decision, and then you drive by there and you go, well, wait a minute.
Right.
Well, what just happened here?
Following the day after the meeting, so, as you guys, I recall, we provided the contractors, said, look, we don't know every detail tonight, but there's a way that you can appeal this decision. So the next day, followed up in an email to give them all the approvals and denials and, outline that appeal process. This is what it looks like, this is how you do it. And
Yeah,
so, we're going to talk to the owner about it, and, we'll let you know.
the problem is, the gentleman sitting here proposing a development is the one that doesn't listen to what the city has to say.
That's what I was trying to say. Do we be quiet?
I agree. It's a tough situation.
So what's he gonna do with $1 million house and $1 million property with gated community with third food to it? Anyways. But the problem is, I don't even know how to say this out
So
loud.
we don't have,
Any authority.
the teeth or the ordinances or the rules and regulations the city does not have in place to really
We've got to
enforce.
go after and ultimately enforce our ordinances. Again, it's in the moment. That's the gap.
Right. I mean, you don't have the authority to tell him to take it up.
I don't know exactly what our options are, but they're, strong enough to.
You can speak.
Yeah, hey, we're in commission inquiry. She's also a code enforcement officer. She's
Okay.
a code enforcement officer.
I mean, it's an ordinance that anything passed by the planning and zoning commission is, if they pass anything, it's an ordinance that it had to be. And it tells you, in the bottom, if you do not, anything that's passed, is enforceable by fine, by legal action.
And so we've got our $500 a day, if we wanted to start issuing, $500 a day fines, we can do
So
that.
we just need to do it? Is that it?
Decide.
Well, that's the thing, the cities, we sit up here and make recommendations. It's the city that needs to enforce it.
And like I said, we're working with Gary on kind of how he
Pardon?
wants to take it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's,
What I don't understand is when people hear us talk, we don't want to tell you that you need a 4-foot fence that's white and picketed. We want you to enjoy your property you pay taxes on, but in the same token,
we're not sitting here making this stuff up.
yeah.
It's in the,
It's like we're all got preferences.
Yeah.
Like the purple paint on the old Con Hill floors is not the paint that we approved. I held the card up to it. But anyways,
Well, the thing is, bottom line is, what's approved by y'all is enforced by ordinance. Any ordinance that's not followed is,
right.
susceptible
Right.
to fines and.
but we've never pulled the trigger. We've never gone back and told anyone, sorry, you're gonna tear that down.
We issue fines, it's just a lot of times, specifically on this property, not the same owner, but we issue fines on this property. And it's either, stop my crews and, send them all home, or I'll pay $500, sure, I'll pay $500.
Yeah, and that's, yeah.
So, yeah.
It's not, and we've heard, I mean, it's under recordings.
Yeah, I mean, and and what's so, I mean, you can only hear things so many times. I mean, you know when they're just saying yes to say yes. And it's just disheartening. It's disrespectful to us, to y'all, to the city. It's just, and it seems like a lot of time it's people that do not live in town. It's outsiders thinking they can come in here and just do whatever they want to do.
And then joke about comparing us to Tomball or Woodlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kitty cats compared to them, but it's our little bitty town. And we do have ordinances and there are guidelines.
Yeah.
And you have people that laugh in our face, or not in our face, but in our ordinances' faces, literally saying, I'll just pay the fine. What's the fine? I'll pay the fine. I'm thinking, well, if you're gonna throw money at it, why don't you just do the right thing? And guarantee you, those two people that got kind of heated in here, they'll be back. They're gonna do something and they're gonna be back because there's no way that can be.
They'll tell us to leave them alone until they need us, and then they want us to come.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I will keep you guys apprised on this. Again, this is a conversation that we're having, as we speak, so I'll keep you guys posted.
but it's just, I don't know.
And I appreciate you, Bill, going, wait a minute, let's go to the end, but I wanted that guy to know.
Well, see, and they left.
I know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference to them. They just throw their money around and go, we're going to do it anyways.
There's limitations on finding them after the fact.
I don't think anything that we need to worry about it, because we're just talking about a week, but yeah, I think I think the clock would run out on this.
Yeah, like it's 7 to 10 days probably.
Yeah. But,
And I'll keep you guys posted what happens.
okay, but that's, yeah, I mean,
We're not done with that place. They've got a stage out there, which I approved because it was built nicely,
Yep.
but we're not done. They're going to have.
The fountain,
Right, so we approved the fountain, the disappearing fountain basin, just not whatever art element. Again, they were calling that a sign. I'm not going to call that a sign.
Yeah.
It's not a sign for their
Right.
business. It's like a historic hotel sign or something like that.
It's not-
They're going to bring that back, supposedly.
Well, they were also
I don't
going
know
to bring
what's
some
gonna fit.
detailed drawings and some reports and.
separately, can we appoint Bill officially yet, or do we need to wait
well, what?
to be chairman?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We have to vote on chairman.
Well,
I have a feeling that the next meeting, we should be dealing with a full commission. We've got one more application that came in for B&Z, so I believe it's heading to council next Tuesday for appointment. So with the one that they appointed, and again, that's the father of the coffee shop owner, Jim Schulitz. I didn't say that right.
Oh, they were going to put him on the board?
His father.
His father is on the board. He was appointed last
This is going to be so much fun.
Okay.
2 Tuesdays ago.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. He's out of town tonight, so good.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, it is, you all done?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
It's 8:06 that we'll adjourn the P and Z meeting for November the 7th, 2023. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right.
Just so y'all know, it was my birthday today.
Oh,
Everyone goes, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to planning and zoning. What you going for? Turf. Turf.